Sometimes lifting weights isn't about the gains, sometimes it's about therapy. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so. And if any of you have experiences with this, or you understand this, or the barbell or the gym has been part of your therapy, then please feel free to share down below in a comment. Thank you so much. And let's get over to the topic. This is something that a lot of people I know relate to, men and women both. So this is not just guys. I know women who have this same situation, to where for people, the gym is almost, it's their escape, it's their me time. Okay, and a perfect example, even let's take women. I know mothers who are like, I'm a mother 23 hours out of the day, right? I do all this stuff. My kids depend on me, my family depends on me, husband depends on me. My gym is my little bit of me time where I get to just work on myself, once a day, or 3 times a week, or 5 times a week, or whatever they happen to have. And they're like, this is just my me time. It's the one little bit I get, and it's valuable to me, and it's important to me where I can just work on myself. And I think people need to have that, right? Even in those situations. And anyone who has a problem with something like that is actually, it's quite ridiculous. Because, if they don't have their me time and they're not healthy and fit and doing stuff, they can't fulfill the other things they need to do. But let's come over and let's talk about everybody. The gym is therapy for a lot of people. And I think people forget that. They see lots of people who are really jacked or really strong, or the people who are the serious gym people, and not realize, for a lot of us, this was part of a therapeutic process. There's so many people who are abuse survivors of some type. Child abuse, sexual assault, men and women both. PTSD, whether it's from that sort of stuff, veterans with PTSD, police officers with PTSD, people who have experienced things where they have these traumas. The gym becomes an outlet, okay? The gym becomes an outlet for that. And it becomes an important outlet, and that's something I've been really, really big on, is understanding that for people. And it's not just me. I was at Texas State Championship 3 years ago for powerlifting. I was chatting with a guy there who was competing, and he was part of a group to where a therapist has got them powerlifting a group of veterans to help with their PTSD, and started a whole program for it. Right, they had a whole program going for doing that, and they found that it helped. And then they also, the same therapists and other people, realized any sort of abuse survivors, sexual assault, child abuse, women who had been assaulted, that the brain response is the same. The trauma is identical. The PTSD is no different. Like, your brain doesn't register that sort of trauma being different from the other. It just knows trauma, and the same type of PTSD develops. Right, the memories are different, but the chemical response in the brain is the same. Trauma is trauma, and they found that it helped them also. So again, getting under a heavy barbell is that therapeutic thing for people with a lot of these conditions. But I think it's also that way for a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people who their gym is their me time. They have stressful lives. They have stressful jobs. Okay. That time in the gym, that lifting, is where people de-stress, okay? It's where they de-stress. It's where they get out their frustrations. It's where they get out their anger. And it's all done in a positive manner, because you can come in and you can lift heavy weights. You can take your anger, your frustration, your aggression out on a heavy weight. Okay, and I used to do this. I don't anymore. I'm calm when I lift now, but that's decades later. I'm 48. I've been doing this a while. It's decades later. But I used to do the same thing. It's when you come in and you vent that frustration. And yes, in my case, I am an abuse survivor, and I do have a PTSD diagnosis. And a lot of people will say, "Oh no, you don't." I actually legitimately do. It's actually on paper by a psychiatrist. So I used to find the barbell helpful for that, right? It was an outlet for me. And it's the place where it's you. You're in control, you're focused, right? And it's where you can come in and you can take all that aggression out, all that frustration in a manner that doesn't break or harm anyone or anything, right? Because the barbells and the equipment, or the barbells and dumbbells are made to be abused like that. They're designed for it, right? They don't mind if you put 500 pounds on the bar and lift it. Usually, if it's designed correctly, it can handle it. But it's constructive, right? Instead of being destructive, it is a constructive outlet that not only gets your frustrations out, but it builds your body up, it builds your health up, okay? And there is a mental health component to that. The longer we look at the world, the more we realize there's a massive connection between physical and mental health, and of course there is. One of the reasons we wonder why we have such a large mental health problem crisis in the U.S. is not just lack of treatment. That's a factor, but how about our lifestyles? I mean, we know that insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity affect mental health. Well, gaining fat and not having muscle affects that. Same with the diet by the way. Literally, the health of your gut flora affects your mental health and your brain neurotransmitters. All right? The mind and the body are connected. The mind and the body are connected. So again, if we're going to talk about mental health, well, physical health has to go with it. If your body's inflamed from being obese, you don't have good insulin sensitivity due to lack of muscle, lack of training, your brain can't be healthy. It is not going to be optimal. And if your brain isn't healthy, you're not in a good place for mental health. But let's come back over, though. That ability to get frustration out and to focus, right? And that's the big part of it. It's the ability to focus on something day after day that is self-improving, all right? That's therapeutic in and of itself, because it programs you to believe that you are worthwhile, that you are worth investing in, all right? So gym time is absolutely therapy, any way you break it down. But for a lot of people, it is their escape, or our escape, right? It's our escape from all the other stuff going on. It's either our me time, it's our outlet, it's our focus time, it's our place of zen. It is our meditation, okay? And that can take many forms, and the gym is a valid form of it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.